Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Myself Parag Jambulkar. In last video, we have seen different mapping techniques. There, we have seen these terminologies, task and process. So when we have very big problems, so we divide it into the sub problems or small problems, and that sub problem is called as a task. Whatever the actual computation that is done on any processor or any processor core is called as a process. So what we do, we map this task to process. In other words, we can say we allocate that task to process, and that process is called as a mapping. So in other words, we map task to processes. Task is a sub problem, small problem, and processes what actual computation that is going on in a processor code. So these terminologies are used. Now, for a good mapping technique or for choosing mapping scheme, we require characteristics of task. So in this video, we will discuss different characteristics of task. So basically, there are four characteristics of task. We'll go one by one. First is task generation. So from the name you will come to know task generation means when task is generated, when task is created. So there are two types. One is static task generation and another is dynamic task generation. When before the execution of algorithm, if we are knowing which task to be executed or which task to be mapped to the processes, that is called as a static task generation. That means we know which task to be mapped to the processes or what are the actual tasks. While dynamic task generation in the sense when algorithm starts executing, when execution of algorithm is started, at that time we come to know what are the tasks. Our tasks are generated dynamically or at runtime. That is called as dynamic task generation. So before execution of algorithm, if we are knowing the task, then it is called as a static task generation. If at runtime we come to know about the task, that is called as a dynamic task generation. We will see examples for that. Look at this. In this matrices multiplication, so this is the resultant matrix. For C1 will be calculated like that. So this is the task of calculating C1. C2 is calculated like this. So this is the task of calculating C2. In the same way, this is a task for calculating C3 and this is a task for calculating C4. So here we have used data decomposition. Here we are knowing the task before execution only. So this task will compute this task will compute this task will be compute, this task will compute this likewise. Here we are knowing before execution of algorithm what task will do. So here this is the example of static task generation. Static task generation. In the same way, this is the example for finding minimum from the given set of elements or from given array of elements. So here we are finding the minimum element and these are the tasks. Finding minimum from this, finding minimum from this, finding minimum from this, finding minimum from this. Here also before execution of algorithm we are knowing what task will be generated at runtime. So here we are knowing before execution only what are the tasks. So these are the examples for static task generation. So in matrix multiplication, we are knowing what task will be generated before the execution only. And in finding minimum element, here also we are knowing what task will be generated. So that is called as a static task generation. When before execution only, we are knowing what are the tasks going to be generated. Now we will see example for dynamic task generation. Look at this example. This is the example of Pixar and also we are performing it parallelly. Now here considering one element as a pivot element and taking that to its correct position, this is the task. Now this task is dependent on the input. Input in the sense what set of elements is given to that task. Based on that, this task will proceed. Again, how this task will proceed, it depends on what input you are giving, or what set of array, what set of elements you are providing to that task. So in this way, this task is dependent what input is given to that task. Task is dependent on based on what array or what set of elements is given to that task. So here in parallel quicksort, tasks are dependent based on the input. What input or what set of elements are given to that particular task. So this task we cannot identify before execution. Only at runtime, based on the input, that task will be considered. So this is called as dynamic task generation, when at runtime we come to know what are the actual tasks. Now there are some examples which can be done statically, also which can be done dynamically. For example, consider this puzzle problem. So this is a small puzzle problem. We can have a big puzzle problem like that, 15 puzzle problem. This can be done statically, also it can be done dynamically. If you follow certain procedure, for example breadth-first search, so it can be done statically, or it can also be done dynamically, where it depend every task is dependent on what the input state is given to that particular task. So puzzle problem is an example of both. It can be done statically, also it can be done dynamically. So this is about task generation. Now we will discuss another characteristic of task, that is a task sizes. That means what is the relative time is taken to perform particular task. Here we are discussing about relative time taken by the task. Now see, if all the tasks roughly they take the same time, then we call them those are the uniform tasks. If roughly same time, same amount of time is taken by all the tasks. While if tasks they are taking different time, different amount of time to perform, then we call them non-uniform tasks. We'll see examples for that. So for uniform tasks which take similar time. So look at this example. This is the example of matrices multiplication. Now see, for calculation of C1, some time will be taken. Similar time will be taken to compute C2 value. Again, similar time will be taken to compute C3. And in the same way, similar time will be taken to compute C4. In the same way, for finding the minimum. Here again, all the tasks will take some similar time. All these tasks will take some same time. Now we will see example for non-uniform tasks. Look at this example. This is a puzzle problem. Here task is for a given input state, we have to find out how many steps it requires to find out or to reach to goal state. So here for every task it may require different time, or it depends on what input or what input step is given to that particular task. So based on input state, the task sizes can be vary, or what is the time required to perform that task can be vary. So this is the example of non-uniform task. Here we are using exploratory decomposition. So puzzle problem is an example of non-uniform task. Third characteristic of task is knowledge of the task sizes. In the sense, we should know how much time is required to perform that particular task. That is called as knowledge of task sizes. In the sense, how much time is required to perform that particular task. Now, look at this example. This is a matrices multiplication. So here we can know how much time is required to perform this. Here, here also we can identify how much time is required to perform this task. So in matrices multiplication, we know how much time is required to perform that particular task. While look at this example, this is in puzzle problem, we can't know or we cannot identify how much time is required to perform that particular task. It depends on current input state. So it varies based on the input state given to the particular task. So from a given input state, how much at every task we identify or we find out how many steps it required to reach to the goal state. So for each task, it may have different time. It may take different time. So this is called as knowledge of task sizes. In the sense, knowing how much time is required to perform that particular task. That is called as knowledge of task sizes. Next characteristic of task is the size of data associated with the task. In the sense, how much data is required for a particular task. So here we are talking about size of the data. Also we are referring to location of data. This will directly affect on movement of data among the different tasks. So what is the size of data that is required for a particular task and where that data is saved. Based on that, we can identify how much movement of data, that is the overhead, will occur for that particular task. We can also categorize this data based on input data and output data. For example, look at this. This is finding the minimum from the given array. So for each task, what is the input? Just two numbers are the input. Why? What is the output? Just a single number. So from this, 23 and 12, these are the two inputs. Well, what is the output? This is a 12. So here we have categorized data based on input data and output data. Now look at this. Look, this is the puzzle problem. So what is the input? Input is a state, just a single state. What is the output? Output is the number of steps required to reach to the goal state. So output can be used while input is just a single state. So this is how we can categorize size of the data associated with the task. So when we are talking about size of the data, we are also referring to the location of data also. So size of the data and location of data, it directly affected or directly related to the movement of data. How much data is moved from between in between different tasks. So that is the overhead, and that overhead we can calculate it based on size of the data and location of data required for that particular task. Also we can categorize as input data and output data. So for finding minimum, so at each task input is two elements, input are the two elements while output is just a single element. While for puzzle problem, input is just a single state while output is number of steps required to reach to the goal state. So these are the characteristics of task. All these characteristics of tasks are required to find out what mapping technique is used. So what are the characteristics of task? First is a task generation. It can be a static task generation. That means before the execution of algorithm, we are knowing what are the tasks. That is called as the static task generation. Dynamic task generation in the sense during runtime, at the time of execution of algorithm, what tasks are generated. That is called as a dynamic task generation. If we are knowing the tasks which are generated at runtime, that is called as the dynamic task generation. Task sizes in the sense what is the relative time taken by the task. So uniform time in the sense all tasks they are taking the same time to execute, while non-uniform tasks in the sense each task may take different time to execute. This is called as the task sizes. Then third characteristic is the knowledge of the task sizes. That means how much time is required to perform the particular task. So this is called as the knowledge of task sizes. While how much data is required for a task to execute, that is called as the size of data associated with the task. So these are the characteristics of task. So friends, I hope you like this video. If yes, then click on like, subscribe to the channel and don't forget to press bell icon so that you will get notifications of my next video. So stay connected. Thank you.